Hey guys, I'm MICHAELJOSH, you're watching GadgetMatch, and I'm back after a long hiatus. I know, I was traveling through Asia and I got really sick and it really knocked me out big time, but no worries, I'm back. I'm feeling better, stronger, and ready to end this year with a bang. And hopefully the audio sounds better too. The phone I have today is another big one from Xiaomi, launching today in Madrid, Spain. Why should you be excited? Because it's the world's first phone with a 108 megapixel camera. But as we say all the time, more megapixels doesn't always mean a better camera. So how good is this camera smartphone? The answer is coming right up. This is our Xiaomi Mi Note 10 unboxing and review. Okay, let's start. We'll keep the unboxing simple as this black box with the phone's branding front and center. First up is the phone, and printed on this wrapper are all the key features, which we'll get into later. Long story short, it's all about the camera. Next up, SIM ejector tool, user guides, and a black jelly case, similar to what we got with our Mi 9. And last but definitely not the least, a charging brick and USB-C cable. It's important to point out that this is the first time that Xiaomi ships a fast charger in the box. Many of the phones Xiaomi introduced this year support fast charging, but you needed to buy a separate charger to get those promised fast charging speeds. The Mi Note 10 comes with a much larger battery than what we see on phones, 5,250 milliamp hours to be exact, and Xiaomi promises 65 minutes for a full charge from empty. And again, you get all of that with the charger that comes in the box. Now let's take a closer look at the phone. On the outside, the Mi Note 10 doesn't look very different from any phone we've seen in 2019. It's an all-glass phone with a curved display. Its back gets either a pearly white or a Northern Lights-inspired gradient finish. Or you can go for the less flashy grayish black finish, like I have. Because of that bigger battery, the phone is a bit on the heavy side, but I don't mind one bit because of that extra large battery. Xiaomi is promising up to 2 days with average use. In the week that I tested the phone, I definitely got through a whole day with a little bit left over the next morning. Some other things worth pointing out: the phone has a headphone jack right here on the bottom beside the speaker grills and USB-C port. Up top, it's got an IR blaster that lets you use the built-in remote app. And over here on the right-hand side, along with the power and volume buttons, is a dual nano SIM card tray. There's no micro SD slot, so you're stuck with onboard storage, which is 128 gigabytes for the global version. Turn the phone on and you'll find a teardrop notch, just like on the Mi 9. If you want the all-display experience, the Mi 9T Pro with no notch and a pop-up camera is the one to get. Xiaomi says this display is more responsive regardless of whether it's hot or humid outside or cold and dry. Baked into the display is a fingerprint scanner, supposedly 10% faster compared to previous models, but that doesn't seem to be the case. The Mi 9T seems faster in my tests, and it's still not as fast as the OnePlus 7T. But of course, that's just me nitpicking in an effort to verify their claims. Unlock times are great, but not perceivably faster as claimed. And then there's Face Unlock, which is nice and snappy also. Of course, the question that begs to be answered: how are the Mi Note 10's cameras? That's what I sought to answer when I took the phone around New York this week. But before we talk about that 108 megapixel showstopper, let's talk about the phone's other cameras. On the back, there are 5. From top to bottom, there's a 5x zoom lens, then a 2x zoom lens. Here in the middle is the 108 megapixel camera. Underneath it, an ultra wide angle camera. And last but not the least, a dedicated macro camera. Do we need that many cameras? I'd argue, not really. Why do we need 2 telephoto lenses? And did we also need that dedicated macro lens? Couldn't that ultra wide angle have served double purpose? Regardless, let's take a look at how each of these cameras perform. The macro lens does the job, but requires plenty of light. See these sample shots. Having said that, it's a low resolution image, good enough only for social. The ultra-wide-angle camera is great to have, and I'm glad it's there, but it's also best used only during the day. I tried to take this photo at night, and it wasn't as good. Now on to the zoom lenses. Here's a photo I shot using the standard lens. Here's 2x zoom, and here's 5x zoom. During the day, details are great. I know I just said, why do we need 2 telephoto lenses, but at the same time, I also like the fact that there is both the 2x and the 5x. For everyday use, I think 2x zoom is the sweet spot, but there are instances when you do want to be able to zoom in closer. For example, during my photo walk, when a plane flew overhead, I shot this with 5x zoom. And when I spotted this robin in the bushes, I switched to hybrid digital zoom to get in as close as I could. The phone lets you zoom in all the way to 50x, but realistically, around 20x is where it's actually usable. Okay, now to the main event, the 108 megapixel camera, made possible thanks to a new sensor from Samsung. Just like other phones with high-resolution sensors, pixels are binned or combined or fused together to produce a smaller image with more details. During the day, the shots we took with the Xiaomi Mi Note 10 were very good, just like the highly rated Xiaomi Mi 9. Xiaomi says images shot using that 108 megapixel mode can be used in billboards of up to 4.2 meters in size. However, if you're really shooting a photo for billboards, you'd probably want to use a professional camera. The image sensor on the Mi Note 10 is also one of the largest in the biz. Unfortunately, that combination of many megapixels and a large sensor doesn't lead to larger pixels, which is what we really need for better low-light performance. Having said that, night shots on the Mi Note 10 were actually pretty good, and when using the dedicated long exposure night mode, even more images are fused together for better, brighter results. Unfortunately, night mode processing is slow, and you can't use your phone while it processes an image, so you can't take night shots in succession. Resulting shots are pretty good though, but I wouldn't say they're the best low-light shots I've seen. So, is the Xiaomi Mi Note 10 your gadget match? At just over 550 euros, the Mi Note 10 is priced attractively, especially given the camera system that it offers. It comes in cheaper than the OnePlus 7T without the higher-end processor and the 90Hz display, but with a better camera and a larger battery. So those are your top priorities, then this is a phone to consider if it's available where you live. Some will argue that it's no contest given its Snapdragon 730G processor, which, unless you're a hardcore gamer, shouldn't be much of an issue. The 730G is in fact designed with gamers in mind. It also helps deliver longer battery life. Having said that, my 2019 flagship killer of choice, the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro, retails for about 400 to 450 euros depending on configuration. And big picture, where Xiaomi's latest and greatest is concerned, I still think this phone is the better value for those looking for a flagship smartphone for less. The value of the Mi Note 10 is the flexibility its camera offers. Having multiple lenses for different purposes is like having an interchangeable lens camera. If you're into photography, you will definitely see its value and will benefit much from it. The same goes for its 108 megapixel sensor. It's nice to have, but unless you're going to be blowing up prints all the time, for most users, it's pretty overkill. And that was our Xiaomi Mi Note 10 unboxing and review. For more videos like this one, you know the drill, folks. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell icon so that you get notified as soon as we post a new video. Follow us on social media for all the behind-the-scenes fun stuff. And as always, make GadgetMatch.com your daily habit. I'm MICHAELJOSH. Thanks for dropping by.